I'll never forget that day, actually. It was a sunny day. It was nice outside. I was I was walking. I was walking through central London. Oh, the sun was just it was nice. It was very nice. And I was walking down. I was walking down the road. There was something about my energy that day. I can't quite pinpoint what it was, but I felt vibrant. I felt confident. I felt different. I don't know what it was. I guess you could say like life was good. Life was good. Things were good. Anyway, I was walking, and I was walking, and I was walking, and I went past a restaurant. I went past a restaurant. Actually, it was our restaurant, actually, and I was walking past, feeling great, and I saw her. Um, I saw her, and it's funny because she was wearing the same red dress that she wore the night that we met, myself and her. The night we met, that was the dress that she was wearing, and she was wearing it at that restaurant. And I looked across the table from her, and she was with a guy. She was with a guy, and they didn't see me, but I looked at him, and I took a good look at him, and there was something about him I couldn't. It, there was something about him. He was like he just looked fresh. You know, like, you know when someone just has their day, you know, like a lot of the time, like you'll see it like on someone's birthday or something, you know, like they're just glowing, like they could do no wrong kind of thing. Like it was incredible. Like it it sounds crazy coming from me, but I looked at him and he just looked fresh. He looked confident. He looked different. Like he had something different about him, like unique. And it's funny. It's funny because I remember thinking, in that moment, remember thinking, he reminded me of myself. He reminded me of me. Yeah, it's crazy. You think about it, and I took a good look. I took a good look at both of them, and there was a glass that separated me from the restaurant, and I looked at them, and then I looked at my eyes kind of focused on my reflection in the glass, and I was I was just standing there. I was standing there. And it was a sunny day, But at that moment, I felt a bit cold. I felt a bit cold in the moment. I don't know, but I sorry, sorry. Um, I I I walked I walked home. It was like a I walked. It was like a jog walk. I was feeling a bit of adrenaline. I jogged home, um, and I was distraught. I mean, I didn't really know what to think or say or. But I, I was lost for words, you know. But didn't feel like reality to me. Felt like a nightmare, I guess. But I did sit at home. I did sit at home, and I was sitting there, and I was the whole thing. It just got me thinking. It got me thinking, and my mind was racing. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel resentment. I don't even know if I felt jealousy. I don't know. Like honestly, honestly I'm telling you, I don't know if I even felt any of those emotions in that moment. Like thereafter, of course, you know, but in that moment, I don't think I did. You know, you see all the movies of people trashing the place and going crazy, and I just felt blank. I felt numb. I felt spiritless. If that's even that's how I felt. Soulless, maybe. I don't know. But sorry, just keep going. I was in yeah, so I was in my house, and the whole situation just got me thinking. And I was sitting there thinking, and um, I was thinking, and I thought back to the day that me and her first kissed. The day that we first kissed. Not when we first met, when we first kissed. And sorry. I remember I remember thinking back to that moment, that exact moment just before we kissed. We were outside. So, we were outside, and it was raining. It was pouring, in fact. And I was on my, I was walking her home. You know, I was walking her home, um, and then just before she went in, we sort of stopped, and yeah, that at that moment that we stopped, what I remember is the whole time I was just all I remember is looking at the ground. That's what I remember, looking at the ground. So that's what I thought back to, because I knew that something might was about to happen. So I I was just looking at the ground. I just felt a bit uncomfortable looking her in the eye. You know, I don't know. It was like I just felt a bit nervous. You know, I don't know, but and so yeah, I felt a bit nervous to look her in the eye. So I was looking at the ground, and the rain was just hitting down, and I just remember looking at the droplets on the floor, like it was weird. I didn't know what I was feeling. The droplets were just hitting the floor, and I was holding her hand, right, and then I sort of gently summoned up enough courage, and I sort of slowly looked up at her. Sorry. I slowly looked up at her, and it was weird because my it was like my tears merged with the rain in that moment, and it was like, what am I like? Where's the camera? You know, it was like a movie, you know, and I was crying. I I genuinely was crying. She didn't react or anything. She saw me crying. Like my it was raining, so I don't know if she actually knew I was crying, but she looked at me and I was crying because I just felt so lucky. I felt like the luckiest man in the world at that moment. That's how I felt just before we kissed, as we were looking at each other. I just felt like I didn't deserve to be there with her in that moment and share that moment with her and keep that memory for my whole life. Like, who am I? Who am I to be deserving of this? Who am I, you know? But it's sorry, I wasn't expecting to get this deep into this stuff, but here we are. But it's funny, you know. These days, I cry for a different reason now, you know. I cry because I know deep down, I just know that I will never be able to feel how I felt in that moment ever again. And that's that. Just gotta live with that one.